From Hemlock Creek Productions comes Liars and Leeches, a supernatural horror audio drama about grief, terror, and the overwhelming power of both. Tonya Wright felt overwhelmed with emotion after the tragic murders of her sister and brother-in-law in a random act of gun violence. Struggling to travel outside of her home, she now lives constantly on edge about perceived threats that seem to surround her. Retreating to the house her sister and brother-in-law once shared to process her grief, Tonya soon discovers that someone, or something, has followed her there. With the help of her best friend Natalie, and others she meets along the way, can Tonya overcome her fears before they completely consume her? The first original audio drama from Hemlock Creek Productions, Liars and Leeches delves deep into the complicated horrors of grief, trauma, resilience, and steadfast human determination to uncover the truth. Season 1 of Liars and Leeches is available now wherever you get your podcasts, and the show is currently crowdfunding for its second season. To learn more about the show and crowdfund, visit the links in the show notes below, and stay tuned for the first episode of Season 1, Unpacked and Stored Away.
From Hemlock Creek Productions comes the new supernatural horror audio drama, Liars and Leeches. Liars and Leeches is a horror audio drama intended for mature audiences only. It contains sensitive topics including discussions of gun violence as well as depictions of domestic violence, stalking, and murder. More specific details about each episode are listed in the show notes. Listener discretion is advised. Liars and Leeches, Episode 1, Unpacked and Stored Away.
All available units respond to the Cedar Grove Mall. Reports of shots fired and multiple victims. Suspect should be considered armed and dangerous.
Tonya stared down at the picture of her sister and brother-in-law, their faces beaming up at her as they waved to the camera. Tonya remembered taking the picture of them a few years ago, the day they moved into this house. She wished she could go back to those simpler times.
Hey, where do you want this box to go?
You can just set it over there for now.
It had been over a month since Tonya had moved into her sister and brother-in-law's old home, and she was having trouble accepting that it was hers now. Everywhere she looked, there were little reminders that she was here, and they were not.
You know, this place isn't half bad. Victorian, original flooring, high ceilings. I bet the hosts of one of those home renovation shows would love to get their hands on it.
It's nice the way it is. If Tammy and Jim had wanted to change anything, they would have.
They would have wanted you to be happy, Tonya. And I think if painting a room a different color would make you happy, they'd cheer you on. The house is yours now, after all.
And that was the hard part, Tonya thought. Tammy and Jim had left her the house, but Tonya never imagined she'd be living here. She'd always assumed Tammy and Jim would change their will to leave the house to their future children.
Okay, so bedroom and office are basically done. All we've got left are the kitchen and your clothes. Which, by the way, you could definitely do some Marie Kondoing of those. You've got stuff in there I swear I saw you wear 10 years ago.
Hey, my college style was unparalleled.
Yeah, back in 2010. No one wants low-rise jeans anymore. They're a torture device designed to make people feel shitty about themselves, no matter what TikTok is trying to tell us.
You have a TikTok?
Absolutely not. But I follow enough people on Twitter who do, and they report back with what the youths are saying. Besides, Liz says that Gen Z is trying to make Y2K fashion come back.
Ah, well, if Liz says so, it must be true.
Don't act skeptical. She's the one you hired for culture reporting. But seriously, we need to update your clothes. Moving is the perfect time to make a fresh start with a new wardrobe. You donate a few things, you buy a few more, suddenly you're a whole new woman.
I don't know.
Have you decided what you're gonna do with Tammy's stuff? Jim's too?
I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about storing them or giving them away, but I don't know.
Hey, it's all good. Right now, let's put the stuff in boxes, put them in the attic, and you can take some time to think about it. Let's just focus on getting your stuff unpacked. The makeover can wait, too.
Thanks. This is hard enough as it is, you know? This is Tammy and Jim's home. Their room, their clothes, their furniture. You know what I found? The first night I stayed here?
What?
A pregnancy test.
Oh, God.
Tammy had a couple in the medicine cabinet. They wanted a baby so badly. They had it all worked out, too. 2 kids, 2 girls. They both wanted girls. Jim wanted to be a girl dad. That's why they decided to buy this place. They thought the yard would be perfect for kids. Maybe a dog, too.
Jesus. Was she...
No, she wasn't. Little miracles, huh? It's not 3 deaths, then. Ugh, God. Ugh.
It's okay. Just let it out. You're good. You're safe. And I'm here with you.
Tonya had always been grateful to Natalie, in one way or the other. At the start of their friendship, it had been how upfront and honest Natalie had been about how much their paws had sucked. Over the past years, it varied from honesty about outfits to support during late nights and writing tough stories at work. After Tammy and Jim's deaths, Natalie had truly become Tonya's rock in every sense of the word, helping her survive every painful day. Natalie had held Tonya as she cried and had been upfront with her about how she needed to take better care of herself. Without Natalie, Tonya knew she'd probably still be in her apartment, curled under the covers and staring blankly at the wall.
It's such a cliche, but I keep feeling like they're gonna walk through that door any second. But then I wake up each morning in their house and I have to tell myself that they're not coming back, and I'm just going to have to spend the rest of my life missing them.
Grief's a bitch.
You're telling me. Thanks for spending a Saturday with my whiny ass.
Are you kidding? There's no other whiny ass I'd want to spend time with. Besides, you clearly weren't going to unpack without a little motivation. So, what room's next?
For today, just the kitchen.
How bad is it?
Well, I've had a lot of takeout lately, but you know, dishes can pile up.
Oh boy.
The idea of pushing forward and continuing to work made Tonya feel deeply exhausted. All day she'd been putting her sister and brother-in-law's things away and replacing them with her own. She needed air. She needed to get out.
Hey, not to dump all of this unpacking on you and run, but maybe I should just go and get something to make for dinner.
Wow, and here I was thinking the price for helping you move in was beer and a pizza.
Given that we're not in our 20s, I figured my famous vodka sauce and pasta would work.
God, you know I love that sauce, and you haven't made it in forever. Pick up some frozen garlic bread, and I'll be content.
You got it.
As Tonya started her car, she took a moment to collect herself before leaving for the store. She stared at the house Tammy and Jim had left her. It had been their pride and joy, a fixer-upper turned dream home. Tonya remembered her brother-in-law, Jim, spending so much time nitpicking over the yard, mowing the grass, trimming the bushes into just the right shape. But now the grass was overgrown and the bushes unkept. In the past, Tonya had always found grocery shopping tedious. The bright, artificial lights, the hum of the annoying music playing over the loudspeakers, and the dance of navigating past other shoppers was boring at best and frustrating at worst. After Tammy and Jim's deaths, it had turned into a new kind of nightmare. At least this store was nearly empty. Tonya knew she couldn't deal with a large crowd today.
Okay. So, I've got vodka, I've got pasta. All right. Oh, tomato paste next. Oh!
Shit! Sorry. Butterfingers.
All good.
Tonya gripped her basket tighter with sweaty hands, feeling her heart race.
Come on, Tonya. You're fine. You're fine. They just dropped a can. You're fine.
Of course, a loud bang would startle her. It would startle anyone, but especially someone whose life had been affected by gun violence. But that didn't make it any better. Logic couldn't make her emotions settle. She pictured Tammy and Jim and how a few short bangs was all it took to take them out of this world.
Oh, God. No. Fuck. Not here, Tonya. Not here.
The walls felt as if they were starting to press in as Tonya tried to breathe. She felt like dropping her basket, running from the store, and heading for the safety of her house. For a moment, Tonya considered texting Natalie, whose dry wit might be able to calm and ground her. But this was such a small thing, and Natalie already had done so much.
Just breathe. You only have a couple more things to get. Come on. You can make it a few more minutes without needing your hand held. Okay.
Ma'am, I can take you down here.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon. How's your day been?
Good. It's good.
As the cashier began ringing her up, Tonya noticed him for the first time. A man, tall and slender, but something about him made Tonya deeply uneasy. He was just standing there, frozen in the middle of the aisle with no shopping cart or basket in sight. One of his hands was shoved deep into the pocket of a large hooded trench coat. The other hung by his side, a diamond-shaped tattoo inked on the back of his hand, despite his face being obscured by the coat's large hood. It was clear that his attention was fixed on Tonya.
Isn't the weather nice? It's a perfect July day. Okay, not too hot, but still, nice and summery. And it's supposed to be like that all week. Do you have anything fun planned?
Just, dinner with a friend tonight.
Aw, that's nice. I was hoping to go into the city soon. See a musical on Broadway? Oh, have you heard of that new one about, Emily Dickinson or whatever? It's supposed to be, really sad, and, the entire audience leaves sobbing. But I think it sounds good. Sometimes a really good performance will move you to tears. But I think that's just a sign that the show was really well done,
Tonya wanted to leave. The store felt as if it were closing in on her, the walls pressing in and fluorescent lighting too bright. The store's air conditioning was way too high, and even in the hoodie she was wearing, Tonya shivered. The man was still watching her. Even though she couldn't see his face, Tonya could feel his eyes on her. However, the cashier didn't seem to notice her distress.
Even though the audience seems to love it, I don't think the critics agree, but I totally don't buy the reviews. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not a big musicals person. I never went much when I lived in the city.
Whoa. You lived in the city? A boring little town like Cedar Grove must be awfully different than what you'd be used to in the Big Apple. What brings you out here?
Sometimes life has plans for you that you don't expect.
I totally understand that. I was so excited to move into NYC last year, but have you seen those apartment prices? They're just so damn expensive. I'm not a millionaire, so now I live here to save money. Not much theater out here except the community theater. Have you seen them? They're doing much.
The man stood unnaturally still, so much so that he could have been a statue. No one else in the store seemed to notice him except for Tonya. Every time she glanced over and saw the man continuing to stare, she felt her unease turning into fear. Something was wrong. This man was dangerous. She knew that in her gut. Beyond any sort of paranoia or trauma, this man was dangerous.
And it looks like your total is $25 even. Cash or card?
Tonya could feel the anxiety coursing through her. She felt exposed and vulnerable and longed to be back at the house with Natalie. The man still hadn't moved, watching her as if he was waiting for something.
Thank you for shopping at the hometown farm stand. Please come again.
Tonya grabbed her groceries, grateful to not have to speak with the cashier anymore, and looked at the man one last time. The man cocked his head to the side, ever so slightly. Without warning, he began to stride purposefully down the aisle towards her, seeming to move faster and faster with every step, his hand starting to move out of his pocket, gripping something Tonya couldn't see. Tonya lost the battle against her panic. She started to run, heading for the exit as fast as she could. Her heart was pounding as she made it to her car, almost dropping her bags as she fumbled with her keys.
Fuck! Shit! Fuck! Open! Open! Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
For a few minutes, Tonya simply sobbed alone in her car. In her mind, she thought back to the reports from the mall on that terrible, terrible day. How the shooter had simply stood there, watching people pass before he'd opened fire. How it had all happened so quickly that survivors struggled to recount what happened. How Tammy and Jim made the error of walking out of a store at just the wrong minute. As she began to breathe again, shallow, short breaths, she noticed that there were no loud noises or screams coming from the grocery store. No one else had run outside. There were no sirens. It was as if nothing had happened, as if the man had evaporated into thin air. There was no threat. The panic remained, though, and for a moment Tonya considered calling Natalie again.
Okay. You can do this. Come on, Tonya. It's just a 10-minute drive.
Tonya pulled out of the parking lot, putting all of her attention into getting back as fast as she could. She tried to ignore how badly her hands were still shaking. When Tonya made it home, she sat in the driveway for a few long minutes. The Victorian facade of the house towered over her, feeling almost imposing and unwelcome. Tonya's hands gripped the steering wheel tightly. She knew she had to go back inside and face Natalie, but she didn't want to explain what had happened at the grocery store just yet. She wanted to curl up somewhere and rest, but as much as she wanted it, she couldn't let herself do that. She had to put on her best and bravest face and keep pushing forward.
Hey, you're back.
Yep, I got everything I needed.
While you were gone, I got the kitchen sort of organized. You really need to buy plates that match. Also, I managed to get all those coffee mugs unpacked and stored away without breaking a single one. So, your collection is safe. You okay?
It's nothing. I'm just hungry, that's all. Let's get dinner going.
Natalie didn't press Tonya for details as they made dinner. She instead focused on light, easy topics like the new reality show she'd just binged. However, Tonya knew Natalie wasn't going to let her go so easily. She rarely let go of anything, which made her a keen journalist and a good friend most of the time. It also meant that today, despite Tonya's feigned sense of calm, she would try to investigate further. The subject would come up again tonight. Tonya was sure of it. The timing, as it turned out, was in the middle of dinner.
So, what happened at the store?
I don't really want to talk about it.
You looked like you'd seen a ghost when you got home. And since you won't talk to a therapist, it's time for best friend therapy, which isn't as good as the real thing, but it'll do in a pinch. So what happened?
I saw a man.
Someone you knew?
No, I couldn't see his face. He was tall, though. He had a trench coat on with a hood pulled up over his head. He was just staring at me. The whole time I was at the register, he was just watching me.
Weird.
And then when I was grabbing my bags, he just started rushing down the aisle towards me, and he looked like he was about to pull something out of his pocket.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, and I just ran to my car. I nearly forgot the damn groceries. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I just sat there, and I felt like there was a weight crushing down on me.
Uh-huh.
I realized it's never going to stop, Nat. I'm always going to be terrified of some random guy just pulling out a gun wherever I am, and it sucks. It sucks. And I hate it, and I just hate all of this.
Tonya.
And it's so fucking embarrassing. I'm an adult, you know? People go to the grocery store all the time.
Hey, it's not embarrassing. It's totally normal for you to feel like that. Also, that guy sounds like a creep who was trying to freak you out. So, really, I'm pissed at him.
What the hell am I supposed to do, Nat? I lived in their house, in their town, and every time I step out of the house, I'm convinced I'm gonna die the same way.
Tonya, I've said it 1,000 times, but I think you need a therapist. Because there's only so much I can do.
I know.
I'm serious. You need someone who can help you with this, who's trained to deal with heavy shit and who can guide you in the right direction. Because right now, you're falling apart, and I am not about to see my best friend's life get ruined. I am here for you. I am going to help you get the help you need, but you're going to have to take that first step.
It's so fucking hard.
I know, babe, I know. It's never going to be easy, but it'll get a little better someday. You can be angry and sad and miss them so fucking much, but I promise you'll be able to start moving forward someday.
How do you even find a therapist nowadays? And how do you find someone when you're going through all this? Just walk into some therapist's office like, "Hi, I'm Tonya, and my sister and brother-in-law were murdered in broad daylight in the middle of a mall."
I'll help. Just promise me that when we find a good fit, you'll go. I don't want you to just wallow.
You're right. I hate it, but you're right.
Yeah, I usually am. Now, come on. Let's get all this cleaned up. Hey, I know I was going to take the train back to the city tonight, but why don't I take the couch instead? I don't want you to stay here alone.
You sure? Don't you have a plant to water?
You know I've killed all my plants. I have, a nasty poisonous thumb. Come on, we can watch some dumb movie on Netflix to unwind.
That would be amazing, actually. Thank you. Seriously. But, you take the bedroom?
Oh, come on. You don't have to pull the self-sacrificing shtick with me. I'll take the couch.
No, it's... I've been sleeping on the couch ever since I came here. It feels wrong to take their bed. I mean, I tried on the first night and it just felt like I was intruding.
You know what I'm going to say.
I know.
Monday morning, I'm going to make some calls.
No. On Monday morning, I need your latest article. You'll be focusing on that, not babysitting me.
I can multitask.
I'm fine. Seriously. I'll do some research tomorrow. Pinky swear.
If you say so. But before bed, we are watching something really bad that we can make fun of. Full-on Statler and Waldorf heckling.
That sounds perfect.
The rest of the evening was uneventful. Natalie didn't talk about therapy, and Tonya was able to distract herself a little with the ridiculous rom-com Natalie chose. When it was time for bed, Natalie hugged her tightly.
It's gonna be okay. Promise.
I know.
Let me know if you need me at all tonight, but for now, I'm going to pass the fuck out. Moving all your stuff today has me beat.
As Tonya settled onto the couch under her favorite comforter, she noticed a picture of Tammy and Jim on the mantel. Usually the picture brought her joy, but today it felt strange. The eyes in the photograph were angled towards her, and she felt as though it was watching her, or rather, she felt as though something was watching her. After an hour of tossing and turning, she finally decided to get up and get a glass of water, hoping it would settle her enough to fall asleep. As she stood by the kitchen window, glass cradled in her hands, Tonya peered down the driveway that cut through the large front yard. In the dim street light at the end of the driveway, she thought she saw the man from before. His hands were deep in his pockets, and the hood of his jacket once again covered his face. Though he was farther away, she knew his eyes were on the house, and on her.
What the fuck?
She blinked, setting the glass down and pressing her face to the window to see if he was really there. By the time she'd done so, he'd vanished into the night, leaving Tonya to wonder if he was truly there at all. Liars and Leeches, Episode 1, Unpacked and Stored Away. Starring Ryan Reed as the narrator, Kendall Bird as Tonya, Newt Shuttlecotty as Natalie, Tyler Herchuk as the cashier, Jamie Richard Stewart as the customer, and Jess Floam as the officer. Liars and Leeches was produced by Hemlock Creek Productions. The story was created by Marissa Ewing, and the script written by KJ Scott, with script editing provided by Meg Williams. Dialogue editing, mixing, and mastering was done by Marissa Ewing. Sound design by Melissa Pons, and music written by Nico Vitesi of We Talk of Dreams. Additional recording assistance provided by Jordan Alexander and Trey Baker of Music City Studios. To learn more about the show, cast, and crew, visit www.hemlockcreekprod.com. That's hemlockcreekprod.com. Thank you for listening. We will return next week.